Sequilibrium, sequilibrium. Two guys sound like they're sucking helium. Sequilibrium, sequilibrium. Sitting on their freaking bums.
Is there ever a scene in a movie that causes you such like anxiety that kind of gets your heart pumping?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there have been a few. In what way, though? Get your heart pumping like...
That doesn't look like that's fun at all. Like that kind of feeling.
Yeah.
That was all the party scenes in John Wick for me last night when I was watching it. I was looking at all these people partying, and I'm just like thinking, how exhausting. They're up all night, they're dancing, they're fucking partying. That's more exhausting to me than what maybe Keanu Reeves went through fighting all these people throughout this entire movie. So, like, watching movies like that, I always put myself in those people's position. Not in their position, but, like, thinking this is the real world. And I'm like, God, that just looks so fucking tiring. Like, why do you have to be up at night drinking just because you're in a hotel? Go to bed. Get some rest.
Yeah.
You got a big day ahead of you tomorrow. You got a lot of people to kill.
It's sad. We're so old.
I know. That's the thing is, like, is it because I'm old that the whole idea of partying is just so exhausting?
Yes.
Like, you want me to stay up past 10? I won't even stay up to watch, like, say, a late show. I was like, I'll just catch it tomorrow. Like, if I'm excited for the new Obi-Wan show coming out, I'll catch it the next day. I'm not going to stay up till 3 a.m. for it to pop up.
I know you even tried to make me feel bad because you're like, I stayed up till 10 watching this.
I know
night.
that's
and I hadn't even finished the first one by the time you came over.
Yeah, you fell asleep during it, but I stayed up.
No, I didn't even start it last night. I just simply passed out.
Oh, well,
early.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I was stoked to go home and watch it because I haven't seen John Wick in fucking forever.
It's good.
And I'm so glad your buddy nominated it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, aside from owning 3, not opening 3, never finishing the whole series up to date, I was so excited to watch 1 that I'm going to watch 3 tonight.
Which is crazy to me. I can't believe you haven't seen 3. Maybe we should watch 3 together since you haven't seen it.
Do you want me to save it and I won't watch it tonight?
We can do another episode on that one.
We'll do John Wick. Yeah, I mean, it is pretty amazing to go this long and actually own the movie. Mm-hmm. And it's been on HBO Max and all these other streaming services, and I've never taken advantage of it to watch it. And it's not for the fact that the movies suck, because the movies are fucking great.
Yeah, exactly. The first and second one are great. I remember the third one, watching that almost just as soon as it came out because I was so excited.
I think under other circumstances, I would have seen it right away. Yeah.
We won't go on.
Yeah, John Wick 1, dude.
Oh, hey, I got a few
complaints,
few things I wanted to read off. So I was thinking as I was watching it, for whatever reason, Keanu Reeves just works in this role, right? Because he's never been my favorite actor, but I can't imagine anyone else filling his shoes. And it's not like he's got a long stints of dialogue or anything like that.
I mean, it's more than Gosling in Drive. That's for sure. He's a bit of fucking Ted from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure meets the transporter. He's a little bit of the both. I mean, it's like when he's saying, "I'm back." I mean, you hear fucking Ted. You hear Johnny Utah from Point Break. You hear that. And I mean, how can you take that seriously? This is someone they call Baba Yaga. Would you? I mean, and it's great. He doesn't have one-liners because they would have been so fucking stupid. Like, it's Sunday, taking out the trash, or something fucking stupid.
Well, he does. They're just not memorable, and they work for the scene.
I guess.
You
know?
Yeah. So I was like, I wonder how many lines he actually has in this movie.
Okay.
So I looked it up.
You looked it up.
I looked it up.
You didn't count it yourself.
Here are the results. No, that was the first option. But
You don't have one of those umpire counters while you're watching the movie?
that'd be great.
Click, 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 click.
Wouldn't be clicking it very often.
No.
So this is funny. Here are the results that this person has posted online. John says 82 words before he kills anyone.
Okay.
So before his first kill, he only says 82 words.
Yeah.
John says this is a weird one. He says 429 words after killing someone.
So is that total 429?
No. John says a total of 511 words during the movie. The most common words that John said, excluding I, I'm, you, is hey 7 times. Yes.
Hey.
7 times.
Yes.
This is the best one. Total Keanu. Yeah. 5 times.
Yeah. And he even says it in Russian too. Da.
John asks a total of 27 questions, which 27 questions, which totals to 99 words, 20% of his lines. John speaks 10 lines in Russian, which totals 36 words, 7% of his lines.
Uh-huh.
Based on the movie script for John Wick, excluding the Russian words, there are 2,781 words in total, and John only says 511 words, so he makes up less than 20% of the lines in the movie.
I'm pretty impressed because he did it all with fucking facial features and his
It's great.
choreographed fight scenes.
Yeah, right.
I asked you, did you ever watch the training video after I told you about that?
I had watched it before.
Oh, you've seen it before. Yeah. It's so fucking cool. The work he put into being John Wick and how like corny it is. Like the length of work he put into it should have earned him an Oscar or a nomination for his work in like that fucking fight scene. I mean, you ever watch Old Boy?
Oh, it doesn't sound familiar. No.
It's a vengeance movie. It's really fucking good. They remade it with Josh Brolin, which is really fucking good. But there's this fight scene that's a side scroller, and it's so cool. Like a like John Wick is like reminiscent of that fight scene. So I'm really surprised you've never seen that movie. Yeah, I think I might have them on Blu-ray still. I don't know. You'll have to look into them. They're fucking great.
Oh well.
Is that the only thing that you looked up about the movie or like wrote down?
Yeah,
about the
it
movie?
is just because it sticks out. You know, he's never
the things you
he's
focus
never talking.
on.
You know, another thing
Steam
was
on the mug.
after he had gone to the gas station and had that whole interaction with that kid.
Yeah, fuck Theon Greyjoy.
Which was awesome. That whole thing was awesome when the car comes in and the music's playing. It just changes that whole dynamic right then and there, and you feel something bad coming.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, they cut from that scene to the scene where he's cruising in that empty lot, you know, and going crazy in the car. And all I could think of was, where's the dog? All I could think of is the dog must be in there just going from side to side, having a miserable time.
So I asked the question, is this movie a love story? Because it starts out like that, right? No. I mean, I would totally put this in a love story, action movie, and then you throw the dog pressed up against the back window as he's doing fucking 360s, and then you add comedy to the list.
For sure.
That's just like a big ball dropped right there. That would have been so fucking funny.
This is like multiple love stories rolled into one too, because you have his wife who passed away. You have the dog that she sent him. You have the profession that he excelled at. And then you have the dog at the end that he kind of takes in.
I thought you were going to throw Willem Dafoe in there and how he went out and he killed them for killing Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
Like, is he going to would he do that for anyone else in that movie? Would he have done that for...
I don't believe so.
I don't know.
No one that they showed us. Maybe the lead guy there at the Continental.
I don't know. He was isn't he kind of a dick to him in the second one? Or no, doesn't he give him like a heads up that people were going to come after him? There's some interaction between the two where it's like, hey, you're not supposed to know this, but I'm going to tell you anyway.
Yeah.
What would the subtitle be for John Wick 2?
John Wick 2.
Mm-hmm.
Electric Boogaloo.
No, that's what I was going to give it.
I'm glad you said that, though, because that is one of the things that, I mean, I don't hate it.
You don't hate,
but I don't really, no, I don't really like the graphics they use for the subtitles when people are speaking. Like, come on.
Oh, for the Russian?
Just put it at the fucking bottom.
Yeah.
Let me read it.
For the movie, John Wick 2, I would give it John Wick 2, business as usual, because everything they referred to as to what he was doing was business oriented.
Yeah. Like,
no business done on premise. You still have movement. You have some movement if you still have business to take care of. So I think a subtitle was appropriate for John Wick 2, and business as usual would have been perfect.
I gotta say, I understand your reasoning, but I hate it so much. And I would have hated it if they named it that.
Yeah, because it's stupid. It's like Under Siege 2, Dark Territory.
I may not have watched it. I was like, business as usual. What the fuck is this?
Yeah, right.
Anyway.
Risky Business 2, business as usual. There you go.
Backing up, as much as I hate the fact that they use like special graphics when people were speaking in Russian, I do like that sometimes they would speak Russian and they wouldn't give you the subtitle at all. That's cool. That's a cool little thing that they do in movies, you know, when they've got to add because of a foreign language.
I looked shit up whenever they don't have the subtitles to see what they're saying.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, like so in The Office when they're doing the roast of Michael Scott and Oscar's up there and he's just like spitting off how he feels in Spanish. Yeah. No subtitles.
Oh, nice.
But then I looked it up and it's like actual, like, this is how I feel about you, Michael. Not just like, here's a recipe for something just to get the words to make it sound good. Like it was actually somebody, you know, wrote lines for the, but you know, it's awesome because they didn't show the audience.
Yeah.
So I wrote down a few things to ask you about how you felt about them. The trail of blood that led to the puppy lying next to John Wick. Oh my God, dude. Like, why the fuck did they do that to you? Do they want you to root for him killing all these fucking people? Because because of that. Like, that was so fucking sad. So sad. You're not supposed to cry during these movies, but I did.
That could play into why Keanu Reeves works so well, too, is so soon into the movie, you're like, oh, man. Oh, you feel bad for him.
Yeah.
It's almost like you can't do wrong at that point.
Jimmy the Cop. That was awesome in that beginning scene. Or not the beginning scene, but after he killed everyone, he's like, you working again, John?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and Leguizamo.
Oh, yeah.
Being able to act like a badass. Yeah. I really love Leguizamo.
Totally. I thought he came back at the end of the movie for some reason. But
I kind of did too.
Very small role. And that's another one that I was thinking of when we were talking about Willem Dafoe being in this movie and how it's kind of like he's not doing it because it's what he's good at. He's doing it because it's a fun movie. Like, it's not Lighthouse. It's not Shadow of the Vampire. It's fucking Boondock Saints, and he just knocks the role out of the park.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he just does it fucking justice.
Again, physical acting for the most
totally.
Part,
and it's like I was saying, this is not the kind of movie you would see him in. This is the kind of movie you see B Squad Game of Thrones character in.
Yeah.
Or John Leguizamo, who's like, what the fuck do I got going on? But Willem Dafoe is like, fuck yeah, I'll take this role. Yeah. It's like Ben Kingsley in Blood Rain. I'm like, I remember when that movie came out, I was so excited because the video game was so fucking terrible and awesome. And I knew the movie was going to suck, but I was like, Ben Kingsley's in it. It can't be that bad. It's fucking Gandhi. I didn't know who U-Bowl was at that time, but that guy makes nothing but garbage video game movies, and not even Ben Kingsley could have saved it. And I'm not comparing Blood Rain to this. I'm just saying it's funny seeing these great actors in these kind of fucking dumbass roles. But there's not a single dumbass thing about this. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
Him fucking protecting John Wick. Didn't see that coming. Totally fucking forgot about that part where he shoots the pillow to wake him up.
Yeah. It's just it's such a simple story, but it takes place in relation to this world that you can get so much out of, which is why they've been able to give it 2 sequels at this point, because the story itself that kicked it off, so basic, so great. Wife dies, leaves him a puppy. Someone kills the puppy. He wants revenge.
And to be honest, you really don't need a sequel.
No, you
At
really
all.
didn't.
You don't.
You
need
really
one.
didn't.
No.
But because of the Continental and because of that whole world,
Because the
it was so
coins
easy
and all that fucking
for them.
shit.
Yeah, to do it.
That's
and
true.
It's great.
I mean, and I remember how the second one starts, and so it's like a seamless.
That's
rip
right.
Into
That's
the,
right.
Into
Yeah.
the next one.
It's been a couple years since I've seen it.
I'll never forget about how I felt about the way it opened, because I was like, "That's awesome." Because the first one is his wife, or is the dog, and the car, and then the second one is about the car, because she left him the car, and there's a note in it that he wants to get back, and that's how the first one or the second one starts out.
Yeah, that's
Fuck.
right.
Yeah, dude, I'm so excited to see where it
me
goes
too.
from there again.
Me too.
Uh,
I mean, again, this first one. Fuck, I remember this was one of those movies I rented from the Red Box, and I thought to myself, just something stupid to fall asleep to, really, which was always my go-to, was the Red Box for something like that. And I remember being blown away, like to the point where I was thinking about it the next day. And I couldn't wait to see the sequel.
it's kind of a bummer that it hasn't happened yet, but like Chow Yun Fat movies, like those need to fucking. John Wick should have brought those back, like a remastered version of like all those fucking movies, because that's where all the fight scenes come from. The kung fu. I forgot what it's actually called something, but I forgot what it's called.
Yeah.
I'll look it up while we're watching the second one. But I mean, those shit should come back. Plus, there's sequels to all of like those Chow Yun Fat movies that are like this that we should look into.
Yeah.
Yeah. You ready to watch the second one?
Yeah.
What was your favorite kill scene? Because they're not like just like one person dying. It's like stretch.
I don't know, but my favorite character is definitely like the mob boss.
Vigo?
And as far as lines go, he takes the cake.
Vigo, the Russian guy, or the guy who runs the Continental?
with the fucking pencil.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I forgot to bring up the guy who runs the fucking Continental. That's the dude from Deadwood.
Yeah. And he's great.
He's so awesome.
They're all great, but he's definitely not my favorite character.
Oh yeah, and I'm surprised we didn't say it, but I feel like after everything we're gonna say after this, when we come back for the second one, we're gonna end with so cool. So fucking cool.
Yeah.
Because that's our thing. Maybe we should make a shirt with the two of us. So cool.
Where does that come from? Did I get that from you, or did you get that
You
from
got
me?
that from me.
Did I?
Yeah.
Fuck.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
All right, we'll be back.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Everybody was gun fu fighting. My microphone's not on this time. But those headshots were fast as lightning.
Yeah.
Chad, are we going to pretend that we just watched this movie 2 minutes ago, or be honest with ourselves and we watched it 2 days ago and we're just now finishing
Let's be honest.
the episode?
Let's be honest.
Let's be honest.
Because I've forgotten plenty, I'm sure, since our viewing experience.
That's pretty
2 days
sad,
ago.
dude. It was so good. It retained so much.
Yeah.
Like, what happened again? I don't really remember. What was the premise? I'm just fucking with you. I know the premise.
Blood Oath.
John Wick 2, Electric Boogaloo. We watched it on a physical copy.
Mm-hmm.
How did that feel? When was the last time you got up off the couch and put a disc in a player?
Weekend at Bernie's too.
Oh, I guess that's true. Okay, you got me there. But let's be honest. Me personally, I'm like, oh man, I really want to watch Bruiser. and I'll look for it on my Apple TV. And if I can't find it, I look and I'll see, I got the DVD, but I don't want to get up and put it in. I'll just watch New Girl instead.
You haven't watched Hideaway yet for that very reason, haven't you?
Well, Hideaway's you got me in on VHS, and like propping up on my bed at 2 p.m. to watch a VHS really isn't something that happens. Usually what it is I put it on and like fall asleep to my VHS tapes. And then if I'm really into it, I'll rewind it and start where I left off. That's what sucks about VHS is that whole rewind bullshit. But yeah, no, I haven't watched it yet. And not because it's a physical copy, but because I really do want to watch it and not fall asleep. Yeah. So I'm waiting for that like opportune moment. Like maybe on a day off, I'll get up early and I'll pour a bowl of cereal and I'll get in bed.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear what you think of it.
Dude, I'm stoked to watch it. It's the thought of you getting it for me to get me to watch it is like why I'm stoked. I don't know shit about it,
right?
But I do know shit about John Wick 2, Electric Boogaloo. So I forgot to mention in the first half of this show when we were going off about Keanu Reeves movies about how much we like these specific ones, I forgot about Constantine. And what reminded me about Constantine was the first bad guy is the devil in Constantine. So it's like these two are coming back together again. And again, do you think they were like, talking to, it's been years since they've worked together. Oh, you remember that time on Constantine? Blah, 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 blah. I wonder if they had that like interaction.
I don't know if I ever saw Constantine.
As far as comic books go, Constantine was blonde and British and not a valley guy and whatever color his hair is.
I know I'm thinking of the wrong guy, but was Keanu Reeves in The Devil's Advocate?
Yeah, he was the lawyer, and he had a really shitty fucking Southern accent. Yeah, and that was a pretty good movie, to be honest. Charlize Theron, whoop whoop, she's awesome. 2 Days in the Valley. Did you ever see that movie with Charlize Theron? No. Fucking Eric Stoltz, dude, it was good. James Spader, it was good. It's not John Wick 2, Electric Boogaloo. So we're getting sidetracked.
Yeah, we are.
On completely other movies. We're playing 7 Degrees of all these characters and actors and
John
actresses.
Wick 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
This is why you and I watch movies now.
Together.
Right before we record.
Because then we're just going to spend the next 20 minutes talking about whatever we want to talk about. All right, let's talk about the homeless assassins. That seems like a punishment. Like, instead of fucking excommunicado John Wick for killing that dude, Winston, that's his name. He's right. Is it Winston? I'm not going to look it up, but I am going to just call him Winston here, 4-2, whatever. Instead of putting a target out on him, he should have just been like, well, now, John, you got to go work for the homeless. And then John Wick 3, begging for spare change. He's sitting there on the corner, and that's like just the whole movie. It's just John Wick just rattling a coffee cup. And then every once in a while, Lawrence Fishburne comes with some information. But that would be the whole movie. Not seeing 3, I can't write it out. Maybe that is what it is. Maybe he did get demoted and had to work for fucking crazy ass Lawrence Fishburne in The Matrix. Here we go. There's another fucking Keanu connection. I didn't even fucking think about it when we were watching that. Yeah. All I could think about is how much I do not like Lawrence Fishburne anymore. I mean, it's not like I don't like Lawrence Fishburne as a person. But like, as the movies go, did you ever see Predators?
No.
It's good. It's good. He's in it, but he's one of those people who were abducted by the predators. And so the whole premise to that movie is predators abduct the most dangerous humans, and then they hunt them on their own planet or some shit like that. And he was one of the survivors from a previous batch. He's fucking nuts. He's crazy. And I don't know. I'm not buying it out of him because all I can think about of him is Morpheus and the professor from Higher Learning, Mr. Williams. Have you ever seen that movie?
Nope.
This is just going to be an episode of Chad. Have you seen this movie? And you go,
Nope.
But yeah, so the homeless people I thought was a pretty neat, not them being like the world homeless is a neat thing, but like using the disguise of being homeless to get information from just being observant to the people around you. This whole network is fucking crazy in John Wick.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see 3 just so I could have a little bit more knowledge of it.
And I think my only problem with 3 is they tried to...
oh, yeah, that's right. You've seen it.
I have seen it.
Yeah.
So you're just tried too hard to wrap things up or make you understand the world a bit more than focusing on the story.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it was bad.
Yeah.
Because I think it was great. There's a few scenes, especially this horse scene.
Oh, there's horses in it.
Which I never thought I would say. That's really one of the coolest action movie scenes ever.
Clearly, you've never seen the movie Crank.
No.
Or Crank 2, High Voltage.
No.
I think we just found the next sequel.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because that movie is nothing but ridiculousness. Action. Like, it's fucking crazy.
We're getting sidetracked again.
I know. I'm avoiding opening my notes to look at how like dismal they are. There's not that much here. The operators. That was a neat little introduction to this when they were like phoning in the contracts, and there's like these old school operators, like Andy Griffith style. Sarah, connect me to Barney. Like, and then she's like, "Oh, yeah, sure thing, hon." Mm-hmm. That type of shit. That's awesome. But it looked like they were like doing a Suicide Girl casting call for those characters. Like they had a specific type. They were like, are you tattooed? Are you into rockabilly? Can you answer a phone?
It's kind of like when you go to Texas Roadhouse and you look at all the waitresses and you're like, who's hiring these girls?
Did you ever go to Bruce's?
Why are they all smoking hot?
Did you ever go to Bruce's in Severance where they sell Rocky Mountain oysters?
No.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's all like farm chicks.
Anyway, the beginning of this movie, when he goes and gets his car back, is fucking great. That whole thing is so cool. Him getting over to Leguizamo and him being like, Jesus, man.
Yeah.
Thought you love this car.
He definitely added some humor to it, too.
Yeah.
Which is fucking great. But yeah, the whole time when he gets the car finally, and I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, now get the fuck out. He just uses it as a weapon the entire time. And anything, I once saw him kill someone with a pencil. Like, they should have kept referencing about, like, one time I saw him massacre a whole army with just a car. But they'd have to bring back the guy that he made peace with. Which is really cool in John Wick 2, where the movie starts out with closing the first John Wick and starting a new story. Kind of like kind of like how Quantum Solace is the sequel to Casino Royale, where it closes off Vesper's death and then brings to light this whole other story. Again, I'm stoked to see 3 and just to see how that is going to fucking play out in 2. Should I wait for you or should I just watch it on my own?
Just watch it on your own.
Okay, I can do that.
I know you want to.
Okay. When you were watching the first one and you were watching the second one, did any time pop in your head the question of, they're doing this out in broad daylight. Where the fuck are the cops in this? There's not a single cop except for Jimmy in this fucking movie.
When they're shooting at each other near the escalators and whatnot.
Oh, yeah. That scene where he and Common were just like, like as they passed each other. That was fucking awesome.
That was a bit overboard for me. Really.
That's kind of what Crank is those fucking ridiculous shits.
Yeah.
It's like, just for the sake of doing it, you didn't have to do it.
This is clear that John Wick doesn't care about the lives
No regard for human life whatsoever.
Around the people he's attempting to kill.
No, none of them. He's point blanking, shooting people in the head, not with a 22, but with a high caliber handgun. I'm pretty sure the fucking bullet's going to come out and get somebody in that fucking rave.
He's not checking identification before he shoots him in the face.
No, well, you notice what he's doing, though. I thought the same thing, too. Like, how the fuck do you know who you're shooting? Like, this dude might have gotten pushed in the mosh pit and run into you, and then you just fucking shoot him?
Right.
Like, that's a whole different kind of show I've ever been to. Usually they tell you to pick you up when you fall down, not fucking shoot him in the head. But, yeah, so, like, I noticed that he only shot people who attacked him. Kind of like a Leatherface. But not, but, like, just, like, because I thought the same thing, too. Like, how do you know who the fuck you're shooting at? And he's walking, and then someone like fucking gun-foos his ass. Another thing that I thought was awesome, and this is all part of like that his training and shit, the Keanu Reeves' training, is like the way they shot people. Like he's not gonna risk shooting him in the head and miss. He's shooting him in the leg to bring him down, and then shooting him in the head. He's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna, I do not need to conserve a single bullet.
Right. Yeah.
I just got to find a pencil if I run out of ammo. And he did. That part was pretty fucking cool too. When everyone got the contract and all the phones are going off. I mean, you can really see how big that network is. Like, who isn't in this fucking network?
Exactly.
Like they're in that square park and he calls and everyone just stops.
Yeah.
And then they go about their day.
Yeah.
I mean, does 3 tell you all of this? Do you get a little bit more information?
I don't know if it delves into that or not.
I'm
gonna have
fucking
to rewatch
stupid
it myself.
if it doesn't.
Yeah.
But aren't they doing a part 4?
I think so.
So maybe,
so.
like maybe they'll do like a Kingsman prequel so we can find out how all that started or whatever, how this guy became like the lord of all of them.
I'm sure they'll milk it for all it's worth.
I mean, I hope so, but Keanu Reeves ain't getting any younger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything else from John Wick 2 Electric Boogaloo that you can remember?
The impact, the way they filmed, like the motorcyclist getting hit by the car, slammed against a pole.
Oh, in the beginning.
Things like that. Fucking awesome. Yeah.
I can't think of anything else that the suits are pretty awesome. That whole they kind of took the first one and then just turned it up a notch to like James Bond meets John Wick with that the wine taster who's really like the ammo guy and he's like describing all the guns in like a wine description.
Getting his suit tailored.
Kind of like Q. Yeah, the suit tailor. Like, I mean, dude, there's so much. The first one was just like a small taste.
Yeah.
And then the second one just gives you like the second course. And so I hope the third one's going to be like second lunch or something where it's just like you're going to give me way more information so I can bitch about the fourth one not having enough.
It's good. You'll like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to read ones that people IMDb reviews of what people might not like?
Yeah.
Okay. John Wick 2 Electric Boogaloo. This is why we got to have it pulled up beforehand. This is also why editing is a thing.
It's going to have to be used quite a bit.
John Wick Chapter 4 2023. There's actually a trailer for it. I'm not getting into that because that's going to be a bad thing.
Hey, let's do reaction after you watch the third.
Okay. All right, John Wick 2 on IMDb. What's the rating?
I'm going to say 7.7.
7.4 is the average. There's 87 one-star reviews.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I would say there should be none. Like, who is gonna? What? I'm like, all right, here we go.
Let's do it.
So dumb. Did we not watch the same movie? It's by far the dumbest, most pretentious movie I've seen in years, and I've seen some really dumb movies. I chose it because of the high score it got from IMDb. And I got a movie that's so idiotic that I had to review it. I do respect everyone's right to watch a shallow action movie from time to time. Wow, that's a bit passive aggressive.
No doubt.
I do it myself, but this is a real insult. Okay, why?
Did she not continue?
I don't know if it's a he or she, but they didn't have an answer. That's it, dude. That was it. That was the end of it. I'm still kind of curious as to what dumb movie they like, or shallow action movie from time to time.
Yeah.
And how is this a shallow action movie? More importantly, how is this the same as the first one?
It's a great action
He's
movie.
not getting revenge. He has to do a blood oath. And that's it. That's the movie. God.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Give a gun to the hero, he'll kill 10 million people. Warning, spoilers. If you have played a mobile shooting game where you can shoot as many number of people as you can correlate the same with this movie. Everybody around the hero are villains, and they all somehow have guns, but they can't shoot the hero somehow. I mean, that's kind of true. Like, is he just the only good one? That's it. I mean, when he's fighting dudes gun fu style, he's blocking all the shots.
Well, that's why
like
they had
that.
to give him that lining in his
'cause
suit,
yeah.
so he could get shot.
That part,
But it wasn't going to affect the story because he had the lining in his suit to protect it.
That part was awesome. How he like covered his back or like put the coat up to cover his face when he's running into somebody.
Yeah.
Also, we didn't talk about Common and how he's like called a professional courtesy. Like, did he survive? Did he like ride the subway to the hospital and then survive? Like, oh, I got this in my chest. I didn't want to pull it out because I'll die. Anyways, back to the review. I got to reopen this here. The hero survives about 10,000 bullets miss target. 1 or 2 bullets hits him, but our hero is wearing an armor and all the villains are targeting his body only. Our hero targets heads because he knows what he's a professional. Like he's been doing this. That's his thing. I strongly recommend that if you want to see blood, go to this movie or else don't waste your time and money. The only time you really saw blood was when it looked like he ran through a blackberry bush and his face is all cut up. And then that dude's sister in the water.
Well, in his defense, you do see blood come from the back of the heads of everyone he shoots in the head, and he shoots a lot of people in the head.
But it's not like gushing. Or, it's like Mortal Kombat amount of blood from the Sega Genesis, not the arcade. All right. There's a lot of written ones, and they're really fun to read. So I'm not going to stop. I'm going to read some more. This one's called Worst Movie. It's so ridiculous and boring. After the first 15 minutes, the scenes are all fighting and repetitive. It's not even exciting because you know the hero will not die or injured. Although there is thousands of bullets from the enemies, it doesn't have sensible storyline. Killing all that people in the start for his car? So what? It's just like that some action scenes and fighting and car crashes and etc. are attached and created the movie. Because there isn't any strong story at all. You can easily predict what's going to happen. When I finished watching this, I was like, why I waste my time on this movie? Yeah. I mean, they really don't have a lot of legitimate arguments because if you're complaining about fighting and car crashes, then what kind of action movies do you like?
Yeah.
Don't watch Gone in 60 Seconds, man, because you're going to fucking hate it.
Yeah. It was phenomenal. The action sequences were phenomenal in this movie.
Totally. And they were repetitive in the sense that there was multiple action scenes, but they weren't the same action scene.
Right.
And they weren't the same setting. I mean, how dope was that tunnel fucking fight scene?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he had all those guns placed strategically where he was going to need them. He lured all of them to their deaths.
Yep.
Like, what don't they get about how like really intelligent these characters are? What a fucking gripe, dude. What a gripe. I'm not going to read anymore. I'm going to leave it at that. We're going to leave this a short episode.
I feel like I've said as many words as Keanu Reeves did in the first movie.
I feel like you said a whole lot more than the words that Keanu Reeves said in the first movie in the 40 minutes that we've done this. Subtracting the opening music and the interlude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to watch John Wick 3. I don't think we need to do an episode for John Wick 3, but I definitely will drop how much I enjoyed it when I finally do watch it.
Yeah. Might as well.
And I watched Doctor Strange 2, so you got to go see Doctor Strange 2 and fulfill your steam from your coffee cup.
It'd be a good one to do now.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to be lost for things to say about it. I'm not mentioning anything until you see it.
Okay.
Because
Thank you.
I mean, visually, it's amazing. Like I said, it's total Evil Dead meets Doctor Strange, so it's fucking awesome, dude. Scarlet Witch is not really my favorite character from the comic books, or I hate the fact that she's in these movies because they kind of ruined it. Like, she is Magneto's daughter. Magneto doesn't exist in this universe, so she's just an orphan who the Tesseract gave powers to. So she's not a mutant. Mutants don't exist in this world. Why the fuck is she in it then? Like, introduce mutants to, I mean, keep that story great. I'm not saying Scarlet Witch is terrible. I would be awesome as long as the X-Men were fucking involved.
Yeah.
But she's great in it. She's awesome. She's a great villain. So fucking, and she's originally a villain in the comic book. Not originally. She was an Avenger, but she does become a villain because she's crazy. Oh my God, dude. Yeah. You're going to love it, man. It's so fucking good. Socials, Sequilibrium Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Email us movie suggestions at sequilibriumpodcast@gmail.com. I think it would have been funny if I would have created an AOL account, if that still existed.
Does it?
I don't know.
Did you look?
I haven't. I don't
That'd
care.
be great.
I don't care enough to look. Maybe Angel Fire websites still exist. Maybe we'll create one of those.
I don't know.
We'll have a dancing Keanu instead of a dancing baby. Yeah, that's it.
New set here soon.
Yeah, we're gonna have a new setup soon. Getting ready for the live show, which will probably be a couple weeks after we release this episode.
It's gonna be so glitchy.
Oh, I mean, it's our first attempt. Whether it turns out good or bad, I'm still stoked to be doing it.
Same.
It's going to be fun. All right, everybody. Follow us, like, subscribe, review, all that stuff. It's
Yes,
awesome.
please. Subscribe.
It helps get us out there and pushed up a little bit more where we become more noticeable. Share posts if you follow us on any of the socials. If you enjoy this shit, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm back.
Sequilibrium, sequilibrium. Two guys sound like they're sucking helium. Sequilibrium, sequilibrium. Sitting on their freaking bums.
I say we got to be ready and like go out and warm your car because we're gonna go to the movies. And then my ADHD has me focusing on homegrown terrorists on Instagram and what's going on outside of discussing John Wick.
I would expect no less.
I do sit in my car for an extra couple minutes laughing at Instagram stuff before I walk in. I don't know. What is it like one of those like, all right, team, is it like my fucking get me going?
Must be.
What do you call that? A rally cry?
Yeah.
I don't
we'll go with
fucking know. So we're going to go see John Wick 4, Sequilibrium for the last time. Mike's moving away.
Quite possibly the last time.
Quite possibly.
I think we can squeeze in another banger before then.
Yeah.
Maybe
for sure,
even
for
just
sure.
a closing episode,
For sure.
not about a specific movie. I think that'd be a fitting end.
But it's essentially, what about History of the World Part 2?
Oh,
Even though really the sequel just came out, but I don't know. So we're gonna do John Wick 4. We just finished John Wick 3. Chad didn't know I was arriving, even though he said, "Hey, usual time." I guess I should have said my usual time, which is like much later and strolling in. He didn't expect me, and so we caught the tail end of John Wick 3.
It's been good though. I'm glad you showed up earlier.
I mean, yeah, dude. Like I said, I got a lot of shit to tell you about work stuff that I was like, there would have been no fucking time.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't sitting around in my pajamas.
No.
Which,
I mean, I got up at 1:30 the morning before yesterday. So I was fucking exhausted, and I woke up at 4:30. I was up and ready to go, showered by 7,
nice.
Breakfast, coffee, all that shit, watching Sopranos, going, oh man, how much time do I got? How many more episodes can I watch? I hate that.
Yeah.
Because then I was like, oh, we'll just watch 10 minutes of the next episode, and then I'll pick it up later. Several hours later. But anyways, that's not John Wick 3. You're excited about John Wick 4?
John Wick. I couldn't be more excited.
Tell me.
It's got the best score out of the 4.
Yeah.
So far.
I was listening to the score in 3, thinking this is
no,
perfect.
I'm talking about the rating of the movie.
Oh, that score.
Yeah.
I was talking about the music to the movie.
I mean the score is great.
But it does have 100% on Rotten Tomatoes?
No, I think it's like 96.
Well,
but the other ones are below that.
I mean, would you like think it? Okay, are you going to go in thinking it should be 100%?
I'm going to go in with much higher expectations than I should. And that's only because I've watched far more reviews than I should have at this point before seeing the movie. And every single one of them is claiming this is the best of the series.
And I told you, the article that I saw said that John Wick 5 is greenlit because of the commercial success of this movie.
Yeah.
So what 5 should be, and like I said, is a prequel of young John Wick. Like, who the fuck is this guy? Everybody knows him, but we don't. Mm-hmm. We just know that Keanu Reeves is a killer fucking actor and an all-around rad dude, and that's fucking it. Like,
to their credit, though, they did do a great job of creating that world. I mean, in the second one especially.
Yeah, fighting for the revenge, basically. Yeah. Like, they took something from him and he wanted it back, and now he's sucked back into that world to survive, not necessarily to make money, like the old John Wick. Yeah. And that's who they know, but we don't. And I want to see that version of John Wick. And every time I keep picturing Agent 47 from the Hitman video games. Like, is he that cool? Yeah. Like, does he have that cool of kills in under his belt? And that's why everyone's so afraid of him. And then, because that's kind of the Hitman storyline. Because when they brought the game back, Agent 47 was living in a monastery, and his enemies killed every monk in that monastery, or priest, I mean. Mm-hmm. And so that brought him back because he had to find out who was going after him.
Right.
And that's why he came back. So it's essentially Hitman is essentially John fucking Wick with fucking karate, gun fu is what they call it.
Yeah.
Which is rad. So I always picture that version of him, not bald, but like John Wick looking. Mm-hmm. Maybe even clean cut with a pompadour and like the 5 o'clock shadow or something. Like young John Wick that made everyone so afraid. Like, I want to see that fucking guy.
Say a ponytail.
And that maybe ponytail. Yeah, Steven Seagal style, So like, I want to see that fucking version. And I think that's what 5 should be.
John Wick in space.
No, that's these movies may be going over the top, but they don't go over that top.
No, I think you're right. That's exactly what it should be. It shouldn't be a John Wick 5. It should be a John Wick whatever,
Yeah.
And have it be a prequel. You could even have, well, I don't know. But I think that's the route they should take.
I mean,
and
who knows?
Should be the fucking end.
Yeah, for sure. 5. I mean, Jesus Christ, is this the Fast and the Furious series, or is it just a fucking action movie?
Yeah.
And we get it. Action movies have multiples. Usually they end at 3, I mean, Die Hard ended at 5, and let's be honest, that 5th one was fucking shit.
Yeah.
Have you seen 5?
Part of it. I didn't watch
Die
the whole
Hard
thing.
or Good Day to Die Harder. Right. Live Free or Die Hard, I liked.
Did you?
I think Justin Long was a great comic relief for John Wick, this old guy, or John Wick. What is his fucking name? John McClane. This old guy who's being attacked by technology and he doesn't understand it.
Right.
So he needs fucking Justin Long to explain
there were
what
those
is
gags.
happening.
There were those gags.
I fucking loved it,
Yeah.
dude. I mean, yeah, he fucking killed a helicopter with a car. Whatever. Who gives a shit? It's John McClane. And so, yeah, maybe they can end John Wick with a great bang.
Yeah.
And if they don't, they better do a fucking TV show about young John Wick.
Yeah.
Like fucking HBO style.
Yeah.
Filmed by the dude who did Sopranos.
Right.
All right, we're going to go watch John Wick 4. You got anything? We're coming up to where we got to leave, dude, because I fucking do not want to miss the trailers.
No,
Reserve seating don't mean shit to me.
Let's get over there.
Okay. And then
Got
you
it.
can fill us in.
All
All right.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Yeah.
Do your best, John Wick. Yeah. Hey, did you wipe your butt today?
Yeah.
It works. For
does.
anything. For
Yeah.
anything. For just the cool John Wick. Yeah.
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 That was which was
Did you sleep all right?
Which was the
Yeah.
first line of dialogue
First line of dialogue.
in this movie.
Also, spoilers. If you haven't seen John Wick 4, maybe don't listen to this anymore. Come on, say something.
All right. Yeah. Don't listen to it. Stop listening now. Go watch John Wick 4. Resume after you're done.
Okay, so since that disclaimer is out there now, John Wick 4 was the best John Wick 4 movie ever.
The best John Wick 4? I would agree
It's
with
the
that.
best John Wick 4. Any other John Wick 4s that come out are not going to be anywhere near as good as this one. No, yeah, this was the best John Wick movie out there to date.
See, and I don't know.
And I think period.
I don't know.
I think ever. I don't think this Continental show is going to be as good as John Wick 4. I don't think this potential spin-off for all the partnered characters that they were just describing in that YouTube thing that we read. It'll be rad, but it won't be as good.
Yeah.
John Wick 4, fucking top of the notch, top of the bill, best fucking John Wick movie. So
It's
you're going to
great.
come out with more John Wick shit. John Wick 4 is always going to be at that top.
You think so?
I don't think you can top that shit at all. I mean, it had action as all the John Wick it had everything John Wick you expect.
Only more of it.
Except for a wonderful story.
Yeah.
A great fucking story. I mean, the other ones had stories, but they had reasons. Like, you know, what was the story about Helen? You know, she died. She gave him all this. This got taken away. Now he's killing these guys.
Yeah.
And this had that type of story too. But like, I don't know. It just felt like more welcoming and just, I don't know. I was just more into what was going on when the action wasn't happening.
Huh.
Like the other ones, I'm just like, that's cool. That's cool. Hey, gun fu fighting, blah, blah, blah. But this one, I'm just like, yeah, what happened next? And what
Dude,
happened next?
I watch a movie this, and I'm just like, the scope is so immense for a movie like this. I mean, Jesus, you watch it and you wonder why it didn't take 10 years to fucking make this movie.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
just-
it was almost like overnight. This 2-hour, 50-minute long movie was done and ready
Yeah.
for everyone to watch.
right.
Because the trailer came out, like a month ago?
Like I'm saying, that director's really honing his skills.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I don't know if it's my favorite, but Jesus Christ, it's phenomenal. It's a great movie.
You don't think it's the best one?
I really like the second one.
Hands down, the best one.
Yeah, I really like the second.
I don't like the second one as much.
No.
I like the second one is good, but this is better. This is 4 was so much better. I try to remember a lot of things that I really like to talk about. The Dragon Breath rounds is awesome because it was a Constantine reference. I don't know if that was like a plant for Constantine because I heard they're doing a sequel
Okay.
finally for Constantine.
Might be the same studio then.
And Keanu Reeves is not Constantine. Constantine's British and blonde, and he did such a great job with it. Like, it's almost like you can change that story to mold to the actor you want to play that character. And sometimes it doesn't work, but I really fucking loved Constantine. I'm going to watch it tonight because I'm so stoked on the Dragon Breath rounds.
I don't remember it really. I'll have to watch it too.
Yeah, you got to watch it. It's really good. And then Kane was Ip Man. You ever watch those movies? Those are really good, like martial art movies. And he was the blind dude in Rogue One.
Oh no shit!
I'm one with the Force. The Force is with me, or whatever. Like he had that mantra. Yeah, fucking rad to see him. So I'm like kind of stoked to see what's gonna happen with him, with him, because I really liked his character. I really liked, I didn't want him to die, even though he was killing the hero of the movie, or attempting to kill the hero of the movie.
They did a great job with that, and I loved how it ended with the duel and him walking up and him not firing because, God, what?
That was the plan the whole all fucking long.
A subtle yet loud fucking twist. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love it.
Yeah. Rules. He didn't fire. That was so fucking perfect. So perfect. But also, like, he went in with the intention of knowing he was going to die. I mean, if the plan was for him to be shot and not shoot, to shoot him, he had to have known he was going to be mortally wounded.
Yeah.
Like that was the expectation.
Yeah.
That's why he said, put this on my tombstone.
Yeah, which is great.
Because nobody could fucking kill him unless he planned for it to happen.
Exactly. I mean, that was the only moment, and we're 4 films in, that you see him kind of vulnerable.
Totally.
When he says that. That's why it was so impactful.
Yeah.
I mean, you hear Keanu Reeves say,
yeah,
loving husband. And it's alone. It doesn't sound very, very emotional, but, you put it all together and it's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
What's going to happen?
I also felt a Constantine scene at the end because he goes and visits Chaz's grave, Shia LaBeouf, and he puts the lighter on top of the tombstone. And I thought that Winston was going to put a lighter on the tombstone as like another nod to Constantine. Right. like
it's funny you thought that far.
I mean,
into it.
yeah, because like I said, I wanted a sequel for so fucking long. It's coming. They made that nod. Let's get another
Dude,
one.
you know what's so great about these? Every John Wick film is that, for whatever reason, as over the top as they are, it's so easy to suspend your disbelief with these movies. You get so wrapped up in the story that I'm personally not thinking about fucking anything else.
You're telling me
the John Wick movie.
You're telling me you're watching this movie and they're doing their gun fu fighting. Hold on, and and you're like, yeah, that's pretty.
I'm not saying it's realistic.
People can do that, and then they lift up their blazer vest and they fucking take all those bullet rounds, and you're like, yeah, I'm buying that.
I'm saying in the world of John Wick.
Yeah.
Like, it works. You're able to suspend your disbelief for the story itself.
The only thing I hated about this movie is those bulletproof suits.
I know. It's just too much of it.
They saturated this entire movie.
Too much
with
of it.
Like, we knew they existed. We know they exist. We think they're so fucking cool.
Yeah.
But like, should everybody have one?
Well, and they're quite painful. They already established that. Yet, it doesn't look like there's any damage being done when it hits that jacket.
Yeah, so you're telling me the sleeves hanging out at the bottom of the jacket sleeve, those are bulletproof too?
Right.
Like, at some point you're going to like nick your hand or your wrist, and then you're going to bleed out and die, not just go for a fucking headshot.
Well, and there's so many moments, too, where you could have gotten a headshot off on John Wick. Why haven't they learned at this point? You should probably go for the fucking head.
Like, is he the only one who knows that technique of shooting the legs and then shooting the head?
Right, yeah.
Like, wait a second. How did you do that?
So many great scenes, though, man. I mean, we're going to forget, with as long as this movie was, with as epic as it was, like, I'm struggling right now to think of. There were so many moments. They were great. The dog pissing on his face.
Mr. Nobody was awesome. I was kind of hoping he wasn't going to kill Keanu Reeves because I liked him a lot too.
Yeah.
And then saving his dog was John Wick saving Mr. Nobody's dog was like the turnaround. It was almost like in Batman versus Superman when Martha, oh, how do you know that name? And it's like that. It's like because he loves dogs and he loves dogs and he can't see the dog dying, and so he's like, all of a sudden, $40 million doesn't mean shit to me.
Right. Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. This dude held out for $40 million, and all of a sudden, all is right. We're done. Right. I don't need this money.
It's like, what are you going to do with $40 million that you weren't going to do with $10 million?
Yeah, exactly.
This guy that doesn't have any money.
Who would you like to see a spinoff about out of all the people you've seen in John Wick?
Oh, gosh. I mean, maybe Winston, just because we don't know.
Yeah, like younger Winston.
We don't know anything really about his story.
I think backstories is what we need in this show, and I don't think we need continuations with B-side characters.
I agree.
B-side characters, maybe they can be in the show. Maybe they can be in the Continental show. But John Wick needs to live. I don't think it needs to be Mr. Nobody, John Wick story type of bullshit.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be John Wick when he's a kid, learning to kill, becoming a killer, killing, not killing. John Wick begins.
It's really the only thing, as great as this movie was, that's the only thing that would get me excited for another John Wick movie.
Like, because we don't need another John Wick movie. John Wick's dead.
He's dead.
But if we're going to do a John Wick movie, it needs to be a prequel. We need to have closure on who he is, why he's doing what he's doing. Is it a brainwash? Is it an agency type of thing? Is it a Black Widow situation where you're trained to kill from birth and you're sterilized and all this type of shit? Like, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is up with these coins?
Yeah.
That they somehow made us think that we were going to get a little bit of an explanation for it in the future.
Yeah.
But here we are in the future, and we haven't gotten shit to explain their currency.
Right.
Like, how much is one of those coins?
Yeah, right.
I want to fucking know.
Yeah, me too.
How many people do you have to kill to get a whole fucking stack of them like people have?
Yeah, because sometimes it's like, it almost seems like, well, for any service, here's a coin. But then there are those times where he throws them 3 coins.
Yeah, here's 4 or 5.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to see another sequel with either him, oh, he wasn't dead, this actually happened, or fucking, I don't know, it's John Wick crawling from the fucking grave like Return of the Living Dead.
No, but look at the end of 3 when he falls practically to his death. John Wick 4 starts out the way fucking Hard to Kill fucking after he gets shot. He's like on top of the mountain punching that fucking board with the rope he tied on it. Seriously, it's a fucking Hard to Kill pull. They're like, yeah, Steven Seagal. Yeah, the way he says yeah.
Right.
You know? That's what John Wick 4 at the beginning made me think of. And then another thing that I feel like needs a little bit of an explanation is, where the fuck are these murder raves happening, and where the fuck are the police?
And why don't they notice before 10 minutes of gunshots and fighting?
I kind of want to know the backstory on the people at these raves. Like, do they go to the office the next day talking at the water cooler? Like, yeah, I watched this dude beat the shit out of this fat guy with gold teeth.
I saw some fight in my peripheral as I was fucking raving.
I couldn't stop dancing because the drugs took me over, though. That's what the second one had, right? Or was it the third
raving
one?
And shit?
Yeah, where they were
the
at like a temple.
Yep.
And all that shit. Yeah,
not as many people.
No, but at least these ones in 4 reacted.
Yeah.
2, they didn't react at all. Like, someone got shot in the head right in front of people. And well, I mean, it's like every scene is like that, but nobody bats an eye to it. It's just like,
that was the worst part of 2, and I know we talked about it when we did 2, but when they're in that crowd and they're pew,
oh yeah, and they keep shooting, or
when the fucking waterfall goes up, you know what I mean, or the fountain rather, and they're shooting through the fountain.
Yeah.
That was like one of the dumbest fucking parts.
What about the roundabout scene in this
That was
one.
actually pretty cool.
I mean, it's the
I
same
like
fucking
that.
shit. Same
I like
fucking
that.
shit.
Over the top for sure.
Same bullshit. Bang, 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 bang,
Yeah.
bang. As cars are fucking driving by.
Yeah.
No pedestrian gets hit.
Oh yeah.
It's-
At what point do you say, "Hey guys, let's get out of the road and fight"? What do you say?
Yeah, but everyone keeps that. But not only that, the drivers. Everyone keeps driving and keeps going. Like, why don't you all just stop and stop fucking like you're just they're just like people who see an accident along the road and hold up traffic so you can
slow
get
down.
all the fucking details.
Yeah, another thing that needs to be explained is how many times can you get hit by a car before inevitably the internal bleeding leads to death?
Oh my God, yeah, right? Or bones sticking out
Yeah.
or something.
Right.
He just gets up and walks
Just
away.
gets up.
Like it's not a thing. I mean, are those suits impact too? Like, do they
That's
absorb
bullshit.
impact?
Yeah.
Let's talk about Clancy Brown being in this fucking movie. You know who that is, right?
No. Who is it?
I'll give you a hint. He was in Pet Sematary Part 2. Don't look it
Oh,
up.
that guy. Fuck yeah. No,
Yeah.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Jesus Christ.
I've never seen Pet Cemetery Part 2.
Really?
No.
Okay. How about Starship Troopers? The drill sergeant who takes a demotion so he can fight the bugs.
No Starship Troopers.
Jesus Christ. Okay. How about this? The captain from Shawshank Redemption who Andy Dufresne helps with his taxes just for some suds for me and my men.
No, I know I mentioned it the other day. I've only ever seen bits and pieces of Shawshank Redemption.
Christ. All right, motherfucker. Mr. Crab.
Mr. Crab.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is that?
Oh my God. All right, let me see if I can find another one that he's in that you would get. I mean, I've given you so many popular ones, and you're like, I don't know. Okay.
I would say the more popular, the less likely I am to know.
I know you're so pretentious. Clancy Brown. Let me find another thing in here that you like would know. Not Mass Effect. No, you don't know that. You don't know the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. I know that.
Actually, I did see that. Who was he in that?
He
It's
was-
been quite some time. That was like 2010,
He
right?
that was like 2007 or 6.
Seven?
He was like one of the main guys of the parents who wanted to kill Freddy Krueger.
God, 15 years ago. That's insane.
Yeah, isn't that wild? It doesn't matter. Anyways,
Doesn't fucking matter. Who was he? For
it
the
does
love of
matter because
Christ.
it's a little upsetting that you
Yeah.
don't know fucking Clancy Brown. He was the guy that was like who brings the hourglass to Winston in the beginning.
Oh, okay. All
Do you
right.
not recognize
The
him?
hourglass? There's another over-the-top thing. Like,
I mean, the fucking dramatic.
yeah.
You
Well,
got
and
an
that's
hour
what's so
left.
great about it. You know, they don't just open a door. They fucking turn a fucking wheel and flip a switch.
Flip a switch. Yeah, that was that. What's his name? Lance Reddick. Him dying in the movie, that's kind of a bummer. But he passed away recently.
Yeah.
So there's your answer as to where
that's
he
too
will be
bad.
in the next one.
That's too bad.
Yeah. IMDb rating for John Wick 4. What do you think? Out of 10.
9.2.
8.4. There's a lot of 1-star written reviews.
Is there?
A lot.
And those are people that they just think it's kind of repetitive at this point, I'm sure. And a little bit of it is. I'm not going to say it's not.
Okay.
because
It's not what?
repetitive.
No.
Because occasionally he'll be in a fight and I'm like, this is stuff
But that's
we've
what
seen.
you expect. To
I
shoot
know.
each other
Well,
from...
you also expect the innovation of what's happening within the fight,
Yeah.
I've seen enough of John Wick, like you said, shooting down and then fucking shooting him in the face. I've had plenty of
I mean,
that,
they added the challenge with the dudes in the armor.
which is cool.
That was
Yeah.
awesome because that made him change his fighting style.
Super cool. But you know what's stupid is when he would throw the guns at their fucking helmet and it would
Daze 'em?
somehow that disorients
Oh,
him
no.
for long enough.
I took 2 dragon punches and now I'm dazed. Don't come and throw me.
Oh, a pistol just bounced off
Wrong,
my
wrong,
helmet.
wrong. I'm seeing birds all of a sudden. Okay, here's one called Not a John Wick Movie Anymore. And if you ask me, I would say it's 100% a John Wick movie.
Yeah.
They followed the recipe to a T. And if they're complaining, and I haven't read it yet, if they're complaining about it not being a John Wick movie anymore because it has a story, all right, let's see.
The most John Wick movie, I would say.
The first John Wick movie made something really special. They introduced us a semi-realistic,
suspending that disbelief.
Action movie as a genre. Unfortunately, they set the bar too high with every movie. Things have gotten worse. I am deeply sorry to watch this movie to get Marvelized. I'm guessing they're complaining about Marvel.
I guess.
I mean, I'm waiting for the person who wants to call it woke because it's new and modern.
Yeah.
A freaking blind dude who just happens to see everything. Okay, let's talk about how fucking rad it was that he put up wireless doorbells to hear people coming.
Dude, he was my favorite.
He was
fucking
so
part
fucking
of the movie.
cool.
Yeah.
Clearly, this motherfucker has never saw him in Star Wars playing a blind character.
There were a couple times, though, I must say, where like he had just got done with the most epic fight you've ever seen, and then he's like moving his thing around as if
I think he's just playing.
Maybe.
Also, go watch fucking Blind Fury with Rutger Hauer and complain about a blind swordsman fucking killing a ninja.
Really?
Yeah,
Nice.
That movie fucking ruled, dude.
Huh.
It was terrible, but it was good. All right. I am deeply sorry. Wait, where did I? Unfortunately, too high. Freaking blind, dude. The staircase scene. Are you kidding me? Yeah, we are about to kill each other, but first let me save your dog from the bad guys. Did you not wait to the end of the movie where you saw that it was like a fucking ploy the whole time?
Mm-hmm. The aerial shot for that
final hold on. We'll get back to that. Let me finish this. You're totally jumping scenes.
They keep popping
I didn't
in my
even
mind.
mention that, and you went to it.
I know.
Yeah, we're about to kill each other, but first let me save your dog from the bad guys. Oh yeah, that's what he was complaining about. Yeah, we just talked about how much it was just because John loved the dogs and he didn't want to see another one die.
That's how the whole thing began.
That's exactly how the whole thing began.
No, that's the origin story.
Let's just make the dog pee over the bad dude's corpse with cheesy one-liners.
Which is fucking great.
I
by
know.
the way.
Also, do you not see how well trained this dog is? As if, like he said, I am his emotional support animal.
Yeah.
Like,
without those bits of comic relief, it's not going to work.
No, yeah. It had some great scenes, but at this point, this isn't a John Wick movie. It is like a bad parody of it from Marvel.
Well,
I didn't see that at all.
And that's a 1-star.
That's a 1-star. There's a long Jump the Shark one that I won't read, but let me read one more, and then we'll talk about that Bird's Eye View. Worst movie ever. Such a bad movie. 3-hour long fight where John has put on God mode. Absolutely zero story besides just fighting. One would argue that the other movies was like that and not this one.
Yeah.
Like maybe 3 would be like that.
I'd say they're pretty consistent.
The whole theater bursted out. The whole theater, the way they spelled it, bursted out laughing because of the ridiculous fight scenes. I am left so angry and annoyed. Don't you ever go watch this pile of poop if you like anything that is the slightest realistic. More unrealistic than Marvel movies. It has absolutely nothing to offer. A blind guy who can fight. It's like I'm reading the same review.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if this guy just created like several emails and like, I don't like it. Blind guy fighting, not cool. Dogs.
It's like people that didn't like John Wick to begin with.
A blind guy who can fight, shoot, and play cards. What is this? Maybe 12-year-old kids would find this movie cool. This is as stupid as it gets. John Wick says nothing in the movie. It is absolutely pointless and meaningless. Doesn't he isn't that like the thing about like how little words he uses in all the movies and all that? And like, why are you so fucking surprised by this? This is why I like reading the 1-stars. Yeah, the bird's eye view scene, that was a really good change in like the format of how they shoot these fight scenes.
Agreed.
It was very. Do you ever play Diablo? The video game Diablo.
A little bit,
So it's very much like Diablo.
Right.
There's another shooter game called Loaded and Reloaded on the PlayStation. That was a bird's eye view type of thing. But I love being able to like watch it in that type of, the way they move throughout the
very
rooms.
Quentin
and shit.
Tarantino.
Yeah, it was awesome. The 2 hour and 50 long movie that I would definitely watch again.
Same.
Within like a month maybe, because it was really good.
Yeah.
It was really good, really fun. What else about
Were you
that?
afraid it wasn't recording there for a sec?
No, I was just saying where we're at. Yeah, John Wick 4 was the fucking shit, dude. It was awesome.
I'm glad we went to it.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to say about it that would be considered negative or praiseworthy, because it's just.
I'm sure I do, but it's not coming to me. Podcast could be coming to an end, though. We should probably talk about that.
We did in the beginning. I said I was moving, and then it was coming to an end.
Well, thank you for all this.
Oh, yes, you're welcome. I hope you continue it with your kid. I think it'd be really fun if you did. I'd definitely listen. So you can have that name. Sequilibrium is yours. So if you could become popular, I don't make any money off of it. Yeah. Yeah, moving to a different state, doing something completely different, and
wish you the best of luck, man.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. 40 in my 40s, living with my parents, but it's going to be a lot better than what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, no, I'm here.
Sure,
here for you.
Yeah. Well, I still got weeks to go, so we probably are going to throw one more episode out.
Let's hope so.
And then, enjoy. Thank you for everything, everybody.
Thank you.
And then we'll see you later.